Good morning. I'm so glad that you're here with us today at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. This is a particularly fabulous day because we are going to be unveiling our new mission and vision statement that was adopted by the board last week. And we are just rocking and rolling here at the Rio Grande Center. And so I'm so grateful that you're here today. So to start us out, I'll turn you over to the band for our opening chant.
Good morning, beautiful people. So wherever you're seated in your home, perhaps in your jammies, we're going to get snuggly with a beautiful chant. And remember that chants are these slow, beautiful songs that are repetitive because then it just washes over you and it stays with you like that extended release tab of wellness all week long. You might wake up tomorrow singing this song, and that's a little gift from us to you. So this is Everything is Sacred from Denise Rozier.
Everything is sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a wonder, unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a blessing, bursting from the earth and sky. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everyone is sacred. Everyone is filled with the divine. Everyone is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is sacred. Everything is sacred. Everything is sacred. Everything is sacred.
Oh, thank you so much. Good morning again. I am so happy that you're here with us today. Today, we are talking about the Tao of Freedom, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that. We'll be unveiling our new vision and mission statement, in fact, in just a few moments. But what I want you to know is that the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living is an affiliate of the Centers for Spiritual Living. And what we teach is called the science of mind. And the science of mind is the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought, the idea that we live in a spiritual universe, that God or spirit is in, through, around us, and that this presence is a loving source of all good. Most importantly, every man, woman, and child who lives in the universe is significant to the Creator. Our doors will forever be open to all. And now is the time for a new vision. So, wherever you are, if you would just say this with me, I am so excited about our new vision and mission. I'll tell you a little more about how it came, but bring it, if you would just flash it on the screen. Our vision, if you would say this with me, transforming our world with the power of love in action. Ah, I love the way you're saying that. 2 is the mission, which is loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. Oh, what a great day. I love the way you said that. And I'm about to talk about it a little bit later, I will tell you a little bit more about that. Now, this happens with a whole beautiful team of people. You've met the band, and they're wonderful. Andrew Cooper, who is an amazing singer. I just love him. And then we have Kamatara, who is our director, Ken, who's incredible. And then A on the drums. Yay. Oh my God. She's a child prodigy. And I am just, or actually, I shouldn't say a child. I saw her grow up from just a wee little one. Now she's a teen prodigy, and I'm so grateful for that. So we are also, will be having our own Tammy Lambert on invocation today. We will have on High Watch, we have Teresa Greco, Kathy Mathiasen, Toby Pope, Julia Washington, Greg Gardner, and a host of other people. So just know that when our practitioners are watching, they are holding high watch for us. And then finally, last and definitely not least, because we couldn't do it without them, on audio and technical, we have our IT goddess, Annette Martinez. Yay! And so I can hear you cheering out there. And then my beloved Mason is on the soundboard, and I am so grateful. Yay! So it is all happening today here at the center. And so thank you to everyone who is here, and thank you for joining us today. I am so grateful for that. So with that, I would like to invite Tammy Lambert up for the invocation.
Good morning, Reverend Martha. Good morning, all of our friends watching and sharing this time with us. Let's just go inside, knowing that there is one divine presence, one life, one love, this holy, Holy Spirit, this life that propels all consciousness, all body, all form, all things that ever were, all things that ever are, and all things are to ever be. I just remind myself of this divine presence. I remind myself that I am one with that divine presence, that I am made of and an expression of that right now. And I know that I am one with that. Nothing can separate me from this. And as this is true for me, I know this is true for everyone here, everyone in this conscious moment, regardless of time, space, internet connectivity, we are all here together. And I know in this oneness that this service, this time together is blessed and holy and beautiful, that the purpose and the vision and the mission is all being expressed in a beautiful and perfect way. I know that there is a new day, a new tomorrow, a new future for all of us in this center, and that we are reviving and living that. I know that today, every part of the service is blessed, that everyone's here is going to hear exactly what they need to hear, receive exactly what they need to receive, and that we are all fed with this spirit. I know this is beautiful and good. Blessing Reverend Martha in her words today, and the musicians and the IT and tech. I know that all of it is good and perfect. And so I'm just knowing that is, and so it is.
Oh, thank you, Tammy. I so appreciate your words. And now is the time for our reading. And today I'm taking a reading from a book called The Gift, Poems by Hafiz, and he's one of my favorite poems. And today, the reading is called The Seed Cracked Open. It used to be When I would wake in the morning, I could with confidence say, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? That was before the seed cracked open. Now Hafiz is certain. There are two of us housed in this body, doing the shopping together in the market and tickling each other while fixing the evening's food. Now, when I wake, all the internal instruments play the same music. God, what love mischief can we do? God, what love mischief can we do for the world today? Thank you. With that, I'd like to turn the service over to our band for our first special song. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's time for a classic sing along. So, no matter where you are, I want to hear you singing nice and loud. Even you, BJ and TRC, I want to hear you all the way into Albuquerque. Here we go.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. Oh, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope one day you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Oh. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Oh, oh, oh.
Hi again. Good morning. I'm so glad you're here for this talk today. It's called the Tao of Freedom. And often when we begin to talk about freedom, there is like freedom, like something should humongous and earth shattering should be happening. But the truth is that no amount of freedom can take us out of ourselves, can release us from ourselves. So what we begin to do, what is important to do, is to make peace with the self. For there is a confine inside of our thoughts that allow us to become that more, that less, that something. And how many of us have known a meal made with love? That's freedom. To sit with a beloved and eat food that was created with love. How beautiful is that? How many of us have walked in a garden and know that the gardener loves that garden because the flowers are just perfect? Everything has been well tended. That's love. When a person does their work with that kind of love, that is what we begin to know as that freedom. There isn't a fear in the garden of if you walk in and there's like something held back, it shows. If we begin to eat that meal and there's something held back, that shows. And so it is that work of freedom, the Tao meaning it is the energy of life. We begin to move into this place where we work with the energy, and we know that in science of mind. In Taoism, they work with the energy too. There are laws of the universe. The same is true with the science of mind, is that the universe, nature works in certain ways, and ours is to begin to learn how that gets discovered so that we are able to become that something more. Last year, what started out as a typical pledge campaign turned into an act of love. Tammy Lambert and her group, it was, and these were the people on that committee. Tammy Lambert, Annette Martinez, Carol Helms, Sherry Dempsey Helms, Carmela Herrera, Greg Gardner, Michelle Scholler, Teresa Grieco. All of these people came together, and what started out to be about raising money, it turned into what is our vision and mission. At that time, we were coming to the end of our 10 years here. We were going to complete our 10th year. And 10 is a number of harmony, it's a number of completion, it's a number of higher consciousness. And what became apparent to the pledge committee is that it was time to evolve what had been our vision and mission. It was time to take this beautiful work that we had done internally and take it out into the world. And this happened over a series of 12 weeks, people meeting week after week to vision, to think, to pray about what would this new vision be. And so that is how this vision came to be. And Annette, if you would put the vision and mission back up on the board for a minute, please. The vision is transforming our world with the power of love and action. So this year, and the year 2020, that's our theme for the year, is walking in the power of love. And so we began to say, what is this vision? We are the power of love. We become that. And how do we begin to tend our world with that kind of love? And then the mission, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service. Loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. So we began to look at the divine as guidance. And so if you would take the slide down, Annette. So we began looking to the divine as guidance for how we begin to tend our world just a little bit more. How do we make our world available to our humanity in a loving way? And so that's what we are beginning to work on. That is what the board adopted. And so the Tao of Freedom works in that way, in that in the Tao of Freedom, we began to see that it is that spirit within that doeth the work. It's not our egos. The ego is at play when I get up in the morning, I go, oh, I don't want to go do that thing. Or, geez, I have to do this again. Or, I got to make this happen. I got to make this happen. But the truth is, the only reason that I have a desire to make anything happen is because there is a divine within that is already speaking to me about this. There is a divinity that is happening. And so it is the power within that doeth the work. And when I remember that and I surrender all of these worries, these fears to that divine that is absolute love, then I show up in love and I begin to do this work from that place of love. And I become the channel of the divine. I have a body that my spirit has woven for my life here. I have a body that my spirit has woven for my life here. And how do I care for my body? So that love has to happen within. I have to believe in myself and my own spirit. When I was growing up, to believe in yourself was, they would say, oh, that's egotistical. That's too much. But what I've come to see in Science of Mind is that ability to love the self, to love from the self, with the self, around the self, is that conduit of love. And that becomes so important as I do my work in the world, whether it's making a meal for my family, whether it's being out in a meeting. The way that I show up reflects the relationship with that divine that I have. It's the relationship of the divine that is actually doing the work. And then finally, in Wu Wei, the part of Taoism called Wu Wei, it means to work without attachment to the outcome. Now, that's a hard one, yes? I'm out here, I'm doing the do, I'm working, and sometimes it may not work out the way I thought. There are other things that come into play, or there's something inside of me that wants it to go a different way. So to work without attachment is an ultimate form of love. The Buddhists have a practice. There's a sect of Buddhists that have a practice where they do these sand paintings, and they're beautiful and intricate with the most incredible work. And it takes them days, sometimes weeks, to finish it. And at the end of it, they leave it to the elements to do with it whatever they will. The wind comes and takes it away, because the work that they've done, the process, the experience that they've done is right inherent in the work. So in the Tao of Freedom, this Tao, the nature, it corresponds with our first core concept in Science of Mind, that God is everything. God is everything. God is everything. There isn't any of us that have been left behind the door with something. There were times that I thought so. It was like, my God, why can't I get this thing? Well, it wasn't time. It wasn't mine to do. There's so many things that happened there. So today there is a new time afoot for our community. We're moving more into service. As we begin to congregate again, we are going to be looking at ways that we can come together and be of service in the world. That there are ways that our love, the love that we show each other so beautifully in this community, can be taken out. And it is in that vision, it is in the mission. And so in closing, I would love for Annette to show us that vision and mission statement again, please, if you would, Annette. And it's the vision, once more, transforming our world with the power of love in action, transforming our world with the power of love in action. And the mission, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. So today, if you would look with me internally in that divine and know that every act is sacred, that who you are is important, and it is sacred, because we are taking our work out into the world in our 11th year and becoming that something more, capitalizing on what we've done, standing on the broad shoulders of the work that we've done already, and moving into the world. Thank you. Thank you for coming with us. Namaste. It is our prayer time, and I would invite all of the practitioners to please stand with me as we say this prayer. There is one love, one truth, one freedom. It is the entire universe at play with itself. For I know that as this energy that brings everything together is the original cause of this universe. And I call it right here. I call it right now, knowing that as I do, freedom arrives, love arrives, joy is here, peace, beauty, truth, all of it is here. And I am one with it. I am one with it, for I can never be separate from it. I am that which it is. I am that. And as I know this for me, I know this for every single person watching today, every person in the sanctuary right now, everyone who's watching me now or later, and everyone who is out in the world. For in this moment, each are so unified with that one divine, with the Tao, that anything unlike it now falls away, never to return. For truly, it is a good day. And I affirm and declare that whatever limitations have been in effect up until now, they now fall away. That whatever shadow selves, whatever shadows have attached themselves to us, that they are illusions and they fall away. I affirm and declare that that truth that is residing in each of us comes to the front, and that it clearly shows us step by step what is the next thing to do, that we together are creating a love mischief in God. And I am certain that each of us benefit from that. So knowing that this love is good and that all is well, I release my word, knowing it cannot come back to me void, knowing that as I've spoken, it is done. And so it is. Well, thank you so much. Now's the time during our service where we share our gifts with each other. And I'm going to call on you to please remember to send in your contributions. I am so grateful for the money that is coming through. And it's just important that we continue to band together, and the contributions are only one part of it, but an essential part to keep our building together, to keep our community together, to keep certain projects funded. And I'm so grateful that you're doing that. So if you would, just repeat with me the affirmation of abundance. I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings are as countless as the stars, and I give from that blessing. And so it is. Amen. All right. With that, we go to the band for our second special song.
Good morning, beautiful people. So we have a special treat today because not only do we have the amazing Andrew Cooper singing, which is always a treat, and of course, A is drumming, which is a super big treat. But Ken got a new saxophone. Woo! So we're all excited for Shiny Object. And and actually, I don't know if all you know this, but saxophone is his primary instrument. And so I just feel like a spoiled wife that I'm like, honey, will you play your saxophone? And he says, yes, dear, which is very nice. So, and of course, we had to pick a song that's very sumptuous and just beautiful. And it might be a favorite song from your childhood. I know it's a favorite one from mine.
Over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, Now, high over the rainbow, make all your dreams come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Where over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why do you know why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why do you know why can't I? If I think little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why can't I?
Oh, thank you. One of my favorites. Thank you. All right. Well, there is so much going on. So, one of the things that are going on is right before the pandemic hit, we had already begun gearing up for our annual critter drive. And so, we so there are a few. Some people brought that by. Sue and Kim brought those by this week, and so we're putting them in the chairs because we were just lonely for you. And as you know, we had hoped to have in-person service today, but it's not to be. We had, as you know by now, a flood in the back room, in the ladies' room, and it spread all over the place. So because of that, and not the coronavirus right now, we are unable to have people come back for Sunday service. So we're remedying that, and hopefully that'll all be done really, really soon. But on the good news front, the Adult Ed Committee, chaired by our very own Kamatara, yay, are they're hard at work preparing our classes for the fall. So stay tuned for that. We're still looking for recipes for the recipe book. And then finally, and I want to give a shout out to Darlene Hess. Darlene has served on our board for 4.5 years, and she is now expanding her world. She's become a counselor for the International Red Cross. She's in studies to do some new kinds of having new methodologies for her practice. And so as a result, she's decided to step off our board. So we are looking, not going to be, we are looking for, oh gosh, about 3 to 4 new board members at minimum. And the reason for that is that we also have a couple of board members whose terms are about to end. So if you're called to help with the finances, the policy, that's your thing. Don't be embarrassed. That's my thing. I'm, kind of a geek that way. So if you would like to join us, we have a lot of fun on the board of trustees. So please talk to me, talk to our president, Brett Beatty. Big shout to him. Big shout to all the members of our board. And so if you choose to do that, we would love to have you. All right. With that, please join us on Zoom after the service for our coffee hour. You have to bring your own coffee though, but do it. Okay, here we go. So here's the benediction. Thank you, dear God within, for this beautiful day together. Thank you for everything. Thank you for this wonderful band, for Andrew Cooper's melodious voice, for Ken Johnson's brand new sax, for Kamatara Johnson and A. Johnson, and the beautiful support of this community. Thank you for Annette, and thank you for Mason and all of the practitioners and the board members and all of our congregation and our entire community. Thank you. And so it is with that great thanks that I release this time together and know that all is well. And so it is. Amen. See you next week.
Red roses too, I see them bloom. Me and you, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. Oh, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.